about after you done purchased the gown and the rings and the flowers and the cars and the musicians and the cakes and the foods and all that goes along with it. After you walked the aisle twice, rice thrown in your face, after you've danced and dipped and did and have gone on away on a plane ride, come back, and after the honey in the relationship is dried up from the moon and you're now stuck with me, how will you treat me? How will you live with me? After you come to know my faults, my flaws, my failures, and how my feet smell, how will you resolve to stop? I done cussed you out from amazing grace to a floating opportunity. How will we remain intact in this relationship? Look at your neighbor, because I'm about to close, and I'm going to tell you, it's going to take a God. Let me say it again. It's going to take a God. I'm not talking about an idol God. I'm talking about a real God. It's going to take a God who sits high and looks low, hears all we say, sees all we do, who forgives us of all of our sins and our it's going to take a God. Yeah. Because you ain't gonna be able to do it on your own or by yourself. Well, love is what has kept each and every one of us in all that we've gone through together and intact, because the Lord, when he made us, built us for what we're experiencing, because the psalmist said he has built our house. Yeah. This is why in this wisdom psalm, this song of ascent, the psalmist here directs our attention to the place and the presence of God and his grace that has been working in our lives all of this time, for us to recognize that had God not been there working in our lives on our side and keeping us from crumbling, we would have never been kept and held together this long. Look at your life for a moment. I don't want you to go too far, but just for a moment, look at the tragedies, the travesties, the disappointments, the negative things that you have encountered in your life, known to us as setbacks. That God would not let us go too far back. And while the scales of our lives was declining, God was there, saying, enough, now come forth. Listen, I want y'all to know God still has power to call us forth, just as he did with Lazarus when he called Lazarus from the grave that day. He didn't just say Lazarus. He said, Lazarus, come forth. There are times, brothers and sisters, in our lives when we need to hear God's voice saying, enough is enough. You've been there too long. You've been harboring over that too long. Come on out of there. Come. the decision that you're mulling over, whether you should or whether you shouldn't. You've been mulling over it for too long. Yes, my brothers and sisters, this is what the psalmist moves to help us to see. He also seeks to help us see and understand that God, who is love. Look at your neighbor, help me close, and tell him God is love. God is God, who is love, and who is not just simply the essence of love, is love. And because he loves us, he has also built, framed, and fortified each and every one of us and our families who are products, recipients of his amazing and unconditional love. So, let's go, y'all. As I better close here today, Psalmist shares with us that no matter how dysfunctional we are,